You're watching TVC Breakfast. Nigeria has an estimated 13.2 million out-of-school children, the highest in the world. To check this development, the federal government says it is considering placing a ban on the Almajiri system that has existed in the north for decades. Though the federal government says it is yet to conclude arrangements on the ban, President Buhari says it is crime for parents to keep their children out of school. The president says such parents risk getting arrested. The Almajiri system of education is a form of Quranic learning system associated with begging. Government says banning Almajiris, who have become easy prey of poaching by terrorists, will also help in addressing the rising insecurity in the country. Well, joining me now is Head of Department of Political Science and Administration, Yobe State University, Dr. Ali Abbas. Thank you for joining us. Now, begging is said to be associated with the Almajiri system, and a governor recently came up to say that begging is not Islamic. But you would remember, or you would know rather, that giving alms is one of the pillars of Islam. Now the question is, who are these alms meant for? And isn't it encouraging this system of education, so to speak?
Well, basically, let me say that this is a totally wrong impression given to the public. Is a misinterpretation of the teachings and practice of Islam. Of course, we have the arms, that is the zakat is one of the arms of the pillars of Islam. But that is not to say kids, underage kids especially, are left to themselves to cater for themselves. This is quite inhuman. This is quite unacceptable. It can never be accepted in any modern history. And therefore, what I think we need to see the entire approach is to see how the government will see education, not only as a responsibility of the government, but at the same time as the right of the ordinary citizenry.
From what we understand, Almajiri is a Quranic word that translates into a person who leaves home in search of knowledge. If we have to take it from that perspective, over the years, we've had this system on ground. How much of impact have these young children had when it comes to the knowledge of what they're supposed to learn?
Well, thank you very much once again for having me. Actually, the word Almajiri itself came out of the Arabic term Almajirin. When you look at it historically, you will see that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam migrated from Mecca to Medina in search of safety, in search of consolidation of the Islamic religion as at the time because of persecution. And so that term Muhajirin, meaning immigrant, has been used even in the traditional system of acquiring knowledge, Arabic knowledge in the northern part of Nigeria. However, that is not the issue. The main issue now is there has been decades of the existence of the Almajiri education system in the northern part of Nigeria. But what we have seen over the years is instead of acquiring the knowledge of Arabic and Islam, what we have seen is rather the deprivation of most especially underage children who do not even understand what life is all about as a result of the inability of parents, irresponsible parents, to take care of their parents and provide them with the basic education. So we have all over the northern part of Nigeria, you know, kids, underage kids littering around from public places, restaurants, hotels, and what have you. And at the end of the day, they end up not acquiring any knowledge of Islam or what have you,
Okay.
to become nuisance in the society.
All right, Dr. Abbas. Dr. Abbas, with this new trend, what the federal government is trying to do, how challenging would it be? Because you mentioned earlier on that this system has been on for decades. How challenging would it be if the government decides to go headlong in either banning the system or reforming the system or transforming the system?
Yeah, I think basically there has been efforts by several administrations, more especially state governments, especially when we were transitioning to the independence in the 1950s to 1960. There has been effort to integrate the Almajiri system of education into the formal system of education. So many states in the later years, we have seen so many states trying to integrate the system of education, the Almajiri system. But there has always been a lot of challenges, which is normal, which is okay to have in our society. What we have seen in recent times especially under the Jonathan administration, is the introduction of the Almajiri schools, which were started being built across the northern parts of Nigeria. Although it started with the building of the structures and data stops, and you have a policy discontinuation there. Now, the current administration of President Muhammadu Buhari has recently come up with a policy statement stating that they will ban or proscribe or whatever term they use to explain that the system of Almajiri system of education will have to be reformed. Although there has been backlash, especially from the people, especially from the northern part of Nigeria, the reactions and what have you, but to me, that is actually a very right step in the right direction, because we cannot continue like this. The Almajiri system of education has always provided such opportunities that can be integrated into the formal system of education. But the actions, the policies and programs of government have not really reflected the current situation and the scenario. And so even at the moment, this policy statement came in as a result of the security crisis that we have as a result of the Boko Haram, which the evidence have shown that most of these Almajiri had been active members. They were easy prey. They can easily be recruited by the Boko Haram, and they make all kind of threats to the security of the nation.
We have to leave you here now, Dr. Ali Abbas. In that case, it means that a lot of enlightenment has to be carried out to to have a buy-in from all the stakeholders and even parents and leaders in the part of the country. Dr. Ali Abbas is the head of Department Political Science and Administration, Yobe State University. Thank you so much for talking to us on TVC Breakfast.